Today on Rare Car Stories, we're going to dive into the Chevrolet mystery motor, the most misunderstood Chevrolet engine of all time. That S, when the mystery motor was born, picture this, it S, and deep inside Chevrolet S Engineering Labs, a team of brilliant minds is working on a top-secret project, their goal to create an engine that could outdo Ford S and Chrysler S Hemi. The result was the mystery motor officially known as the Mark was a completely new big block VI design, not simply a stroked version of its revolutionary caned valve porcupine cylinder heads, featuring angled valves for superior airflow, represented a dramatic advancement over Chevrolet's earlier engines, while often compared to Chrysler S Hemi. The Mark I focused on optimizing high RPM airflow rather than relying solely on combustion chamber design, a philosophy that would go on to define Chevrolet's legendary big block Mark engines, including and when the mystery motor finally made its debut at the Daytona Me on February it stunned the racing world. Drivers like Junior Johnson and Johnny Ruther took to the track, showcasing the engine's incredible power and potential, but just as quickly as it appeared, the mystery motor vanished and General Motors shocked the racing world by abruptly withdrawing from factory-backed competition. This decision was directly about the mystery motor's power. It stemmed from GM's compliance with the Automobile Manufacturers Association (AMA) ban, a voluntary industry agreement since to avoid overt factory racing involvement. NASCAR, meanwhile, was tightening rules to curb the horsepower wars between manufacturers. Without GM's support, teams could no longer afford to develop the mystery motor, sealing its fate. The story of the mystery motor is one of innovation, secrecy, and what could have been. It was a brilliant design that never got the chance to fully prove itself. So what really happened to the mystery motor? Why was it banned? And what could it have achieved if given the chance? Let us uncover the shocking truth behind one of the most fascinating chapters in motorsports history, the birth of the mystery motor. The Chevrolet Mark, famously known as the mystery motor, was developed by GM engineers in late and early. The name mystery motor came about because of the secrecy surrounding its design and its intended purpose at the time. NASCAR was becoming a significant force in American motorsports, and GM was keen to assert its dominance in the racing world. The was created as part of this effort, and its development was shrouded in secrecy, known only to a select few within GM, including Smokey Yunick, the legendary and rule-bending mechanic, unofficially collaborated with Chevrolet to test and develop their high-performance engines, including the mystery motor. This behind-the-scenes partnership allowed Chevrolet to circumvent the AMA's ban on factory involvement in motorsports. Yunick's ingenuity and willingness to push boundaries played a crucial role in refining Chevrolet's racing engines, paving the way for their dominance in NASCAR and other series. The engine itself was a hybrid of sorts, combining elements from the Chevrolet with a variety of custom modifications. It featured caned valve heads, often referred to as porcupine heads, due to the unique angle at which the valves were positioned. This head design provided a significant advantage in terms of airflow, giving the Mark the ability to produce tremendous horsepower. In fact, it was a stroked version of with the S in Mark S, referring to the stroked crankshaft. That was part of a broader strategy by GM to develop engines that would allow their cars to dominate in NASCAR racing. But despite its promise, the engine was doomed to a short-lived existence thanks to a series of events that would change the future of both GM and NASCAR racing forever. The engine that almost won it all, the mystery motor, was a remarkable product of innovation developed with the primary goal of competing in NASCAR. Its potential was immediately evident, and one of its most famous applications was in Junior Johnson's Impala. During the NASCAR season, the engine was a powerhouse capable of producing around horsepower or more, though the exact figure remains somewhat debated due to its mystery nature, with some experts suggesting it could have even reached horsepower, and it quickly earned a reputation on the track. The mystery motor was used in a limited number of vehicles, primarily for testing its performance in racing conditions. Among the cars modified for this purpose were Chevrolet Impala prototypes. These prototypes were specifically altered for NASCAR racing, and teams like Junior Johnson S and Ray Fox S used them to assess the engine's capabilities. The Impala prototypes were lightweight, aerodynamic, and built to handle the immense power of the mystery motor. in addition to the Impala some. Chevrolet Bel Air models were also converted into experimental vehicles to test the engine. These Bel Air prototypes were similarly stripped down and optimized for racing, focusing on maximizing speed and handling to meet the high demands of competitive motorsport. Chevrolet engineers also likely built a small number of custom-built test mules, one-off experimental vehicles designed solely for the evaluation of the mystery motor in controlled environments. The development of the mystery motor was led by a talented team at General Motors, GM, and Chevrolet, including key figures like Herb Fischel, Ed Cole, Dick Keinath, and the legendary Smokey Yunick. Together, they designed a powertrain that would push the boundaries of performance and help Chevrolet compete at the highest levels of motorsport. In Junior Johnson's hands, the history motor delivered outstanding results in just races during the season. His Impala scored 7 wins, 9 pole positions, top 5 finishes, and top finishes. Johnson's victories included both mystery motor and conventional engines, but the Mark S potential was undeniable in qualifying dominance, the GM racing ban, and the fate of the mystery motor. The ban on racing by General Motors was a controversial move that shocked the racing community. GM had been at the forefront of NASCAR racing, and the decision to withdraw from competition not only ended the mystery motor's racing career, but also left many racing fans wondering. What could have been the decision was part of GM's broader corporate strategy to distance itself from the growing association between stock car racing and the automobile industry's marketing efforts. There were concerns over the negative image that racing could bring, as well as the increasing expense and political implications of supporting a competitive racing effort. The withdrawal from NASCAR meant that engines like the mystery motor would no longer be used in the racing series, and Chevrolet would have to shift its focus away from motorsports. As a result, the mystery motor was quickly relegated to the status of a what could have been engine, one of the greatest motors that never fully realized its potential. The exact number of mystery motor engines that were built is still a subject of debate among automotive historians. Estimates range from 2 engines produced, with only a handful ever being used in competition. Over time, these engines became rare, valuable collector-s items, with only a few surviving examples, making it to modern-day car enthusiasts and collectors. Testing the mystery motor, a historic moment. Let us fast forward to, and one of the last surviving examples of the engine, Tom McIntyre's race version, was rediscovered and subjected to a historic test. The engine, which had not been run in over years, was carefully restored and tested on a dynamometer by engine experts, Jim Doctor and Tom McIntyre himself. The process of testing this engine was nothing short of nerve-wracking, as the mystery motor had been a piece of history that many thought would never be heard from. Again, the engine fired to life with a deafening roar, maintaining good oil pressure and temperatures as it was carefully broken, and the first dyno pull reached RPM, then RPM, and finally RPM, where the engine was still producing an impressive horsepower. However, torque began to fall off at RPM, peaking out of torque. The dyno's reading of horsepower, though undoubtedly impressive, almost certainly fell short of the engine's true potential during its prime. With period-correct race tuning, more aggressive camshaft profiles, and the use of specialized high-octane fuel, the output could have easily surged beyond the plus horsepower mark. Nevertheless, the test served as a testament to the enduring sophistication and advanced engineering of the mystery motor, even after half a century of existence. For those present at the dyno session, it was a moment of awe and excitement as the engine screamed to life. It was clear that the mystery motor was still a force to be reckoned with. The sound of the engine, the rush of power, and the realization that they were witnessing a piece of racing history come to life was an experience that will not soon be forgotten. When discussing the mystery motor with racing legend Dick Goldstrand, he shared fascinating insights into its development and legacy. He explained that the engine, officially known as the Mark, was designed with one goal: to dominate the racing world. Conceived as Chevrolet's secret weapon, it was engineered to compete with Ford SV and Chrysler Hemi in NASCAR and endurance racing. On paper, it was a technical marvel capable of producing around horsepower or more depending on tuning and race conditions, with a high revving architecture optimized for tracks like Daytona and Llamas. However, as Goldstrand noted, the real challenge wasn't just building a powerful engine. It was making it reliable and competitive under the intense demands of actual racing. The Mystery Motor's development was shrouded in secrecy, with Chevrolet working unofficially with legendary figures like Smokey Yunick and Junior Johnson to test and refine the engine behind the scenes. Collaboration was a workaround to skirt the Automobile Manufacturers Association (AMA) ban, which prohibited factory involvement in motorsports. This engine was part of the marked Big Block family, which evolved from the earlier W series and paved the way for the legendary engines. These innovations gave the engine incredible potential, but they also made it difficult to tune and maintain. Goldstrand explained that the engine's cylinder heads were designed for sustained high RPM performance, ideal for superspeedways but less forgiving on shorter tracks or in the hands of less experienced teams. Modifications to the camshaft induction system or exhaust didn't always yield the expected results, and it took time for engineers and racers to figure out how to unlock its full potential. Goldstrand recalled how the engine was developed in near total secrecy, with only a small group of engineers and executives aware of its existence. This was partly due to the industry-wide ban imposed by the Automobile Manufacturers Association (AMA) on factory-backed racing, which forced Chevrolet to operate in the shadows rather than a direct action by NASCAR itself. Goldstrand also touched the key controversies was the tension within GM itself. While engineers like Zora Arkasdunov, the father of the Corvette, and Vince Piggins, Chevrolet's performance chief, were pushing for racing innovation, GM's top executives were wary of violating the AMA ban and risking the company's reputation. This internal struggle came to a head-in when GM abruptly withdrew from factory-backed racing, citing compliance with the AMA ban. This decision left private teams without the resources to continue developing the mystery motor, effectively killing its racing prospects to be the new benchmark for performance. But its advanced design made it difficult to mass-produce or adapt for street use. As a result, the engine was primarily used in factory-backed racing efforts and fewer than mystery motors were built. Its caned valve design, however, became the foundation for Chevrolet's Slummark, proving the failed mystery motor was actually a blueprint for dominance. Conclusion: the engine that never was, the Chevrolet mystery motor, stands as a testament to what might have been its secretive development performance. An event ban from NASCAR created a rich and captivating story that resonates with car lovers to this day. The engine's place in history is secure not just for its technical prowess, but for the incredible what-if that surrounds it. What if GM had not had a hissy fit and quit racing? What if it had been allowed to compete on the track? While we will never know the answers to those questions, we can take comfort in the fact that a few lucky individuals like Tom Kintyre, Engine Draw, have had the opportunity to experience this historic engine in action once more. The mystery motor may have been outlawed, but it will forever live on in the hearts and minds of those who understand its place in automotive history. If that's not something to be proud of, I do unknow what is. While the Chevrolet mystery motor may have had a misunderstanding in its NASCAR and street racing, it is also arguably one of the best-looking engines of all time in history. It's been really kind to this engine, and is it now a Chevrolet legend? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about the mystery? Your motor's legacy? Could it have changed the course of NASCAR history? So I hope you liked this video, and until next time, this is Paul from Rare Car Stories. Catch you later.